And we are thrilled that we are the first event that will kick off the year-long celebration of Canada's 150th birthday. This is a very exciting time in the city of Ottawa, and to be part of the celebrations and to kick it off is an incredible opportunity for us. For many skaters across the country, this is the highlight of their skating season. We are at the show. This is the Canadian Championships. This event features nearly 250 skaters across the men's event, the women's event, the pair event, and the ice dance disciplines. And there are 3 levels of skaters who you will have and will see this week. They are novice, junior, and of course our senior skaters. And what you're seeing out there right now on the ice are our senior ladies who are actually doing some warming up. So it is also a very special time for us because this really does kick off for Skate Canada and our high performance program the year-long run-up to what will be the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. So South Korea is a long way from Ottawa, but the next year makes the difference for our athletes who will be participating in that event. And so the audience here today will get to witness some people who will ultimately step onto that stage. I know you know this, but I have to say it. It takes an incredible effort to deliver a championship of this magnitude. And we could not do it without someone who has been very, very important and special to us at Skate Canada, and those are our friends from Canadian Tire. They have been integral to what we do. They're an integral part of the success of skating in this country. Whether it's the first pair of skates you buy, or whether you're standing on the podium with a medal around your neck, Canadian Tire has been there in many, many, many ways with what they do. We are so grateful to Canadian Tire, and we want to thank them for their contribution and for helping us to achieve our vision, which is to inspire all Canadians to embrace the joy of skating. So when we bring the Canadian Tire National Championships to a city, the local community becomes absolutely critical to our success. From hundreds, and they are hundreds of local volunteers, to promotional and financial support we receive from the local government, Ottawa has been truly a great supporter of this event.
It's a real pleasure for me to be here because, as Deborah pointed out, this is the very first big event of the 2017 calendar. And we've got a great year ahead of us, starting off, of course, with Skate Canada. We've got the Davis Cup here, UK versus Canada next month. The month after, we have Red Bull Crashed Ice. Then we have the Juno Awards. And then it goes on and on. We've got the Grey Cup, of course, and we're proud to be home to the Red Blacks, the defending Grey Cup champions. But the Canadian Tire National Skating Championships, of course, is an important milestone because the very first Canadian Skating Championships took place in Ottawa in 1914. I don't think, Brian, you were covering that year. You were not there, right? But it's the first major event, and we're very proud to be hosting this prestigious event. And I want to thank you, Deborah, your entire staff, the board of directors, the volunteers, who have really made this a world-class event in our nation's capital. Alors certainement pour moi, c'est une occasion pour moi de dire merci beaucoup à les bénévoles. Il y a beaucoup de centaines de bénévoles qui travaillent jour par jour pour aider avec les athlètes, avec les spectateurs. So a big thank you to all of the volunteers who do such a great job welcoming individuals to this great championship.
It's good to know the history of the sport, and the history of skating is what's brought us here to this moment, and making history is why we're here this week. And as ambassador, I think one of my jobs is to represent the skaters, and if I think they had any message for everyone listening, that it would simply be gratitude. It's a very Canadian thing to do, but to be thankful to everyone who got them to this point, their families, their coaches, their medical staff, their trainers, and yes, sponsors as well. You mentioned some sponsors and how important they are. I have a little story to tell you along those lines. My son, Dylan, when he was 7, he asked me for a pair of skates, but he asked for a pair of hockey skates. So I said, cool. So I did what any 4-time world figure skating champion would do. I went straight to Canadian Tire and bought him a pair of hockey skates, which he enjoyed a couple of times, but I noticed that they kept staying in the bag, and he stepped over them and put on the figure skates and went out. So I said, Dylan, how come you're not putting on the hockeys? Let's try those today. And he goes, can't do tricks on those, which I think kind of sums up why we're all here. And I disagree with him. I think you can do tricks on those, but he loves the toe pick and putting that toe pick in the ice and trying to turn in the air and all the fancy things that he does on the skates. He's hooked. And I got hooked a long time ago, and I think that everyone who comes here is also going to get hooked. All those kids out there are going to see something, and some of them are going to be inspired. And all the axles and the spins and the jumps and the speed and the grace, and when it all comes together in front of the TV lights, the right costume with the right music, the blades sliding underneath that athletic skater, it's magic.
So I want to let you know that we're going to the other side of the country next year, and Vancouver will host the Canadian Championships in lead up to the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang in 2018. So we're going to the UBC Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Arena. It has hosted some incredible events in lead up to the last Olympic Games. It actually hosted the women's hockey event. This year we're going to bring figure skating there, and so you will watch people compete for an opportunity at the world stage.